Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
This is Barb.
And this is Estela.
And welcome to
Cafecito.
And Crime.
So, by the time this episode comes out,
Yeah.
it's going to be Barbie's birthday.
Yes. Woo! My birthday is
The 24th.
the 24th, which is tomorrow.
Taurus Queen.
Taurus Queen, 100%. I feel like I'm a pretty good a la verga. Pretty good
Ni las dos cosas
representation.
puedes decir, ni a la verga,
Ni a la verga
ni
pude.
representation.
Of a Taurus queen. Like, girl, I love being a Taurus. Everybody's like, oh, well, I love telling people I'm a Taurus. And then people are like, oh, like they usually think that you're like hard-headed, and I'm like, bro,
Really?
Taurus are not hard-headed. We just know
I've
what
never
we want.
I've never heard of anybody saying that to a
Yeah.
Taurus.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I tell them, sí me dicen, pero está bien, no pasa nada, you know. That, because I'm a Taurus, me vale verga.
Yeah.
So, like, people are like, oh my God.
But
I'm
low
not,
key no te vale verga.
no me vale verga. No, sí, pero let me tell you why sí me vale verga, because I feel like I am hard-headed, pero it's because I know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that are like, they just take meh, whatever. And then you don't end up meh. You don't end up with what you want. But yes, I am, it is my birthday, and I probably will not be enjoying it because I have something to do. I was just telling Estela que my daughter has something at school. Performance that I'm like, great. Like, that's exactly what I want to do.
Spend it at school.
At the school, watching you dance the same dance that I've already watched all year. Like, bitch.
It's the last year. But it's the last year you're going to see her dance at dance.
At this
It's
dance.
the last time.
With this group, yes.
Yes.
But then next year, she's going to dance again.
In a different group.
In a different group.
Because she's going to ninth grade.
She's going to ninth grade.
Oh my God.
I know, bitch. Like, in 4 years, she'll be a fucking, like, in a...
Well, yeah,
graduating.
our oldest niece, she's graduating. She's a senior.
And
like,
my
she's
nephew,
done.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? But yeah,
You were-
and I see them, and I'm like, bro...
You were just as little.
Not only that, but like when I see the two kids that are going to graduate, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck your parents
You're
are
like, te
thinking.
limpiaba la cola. Yo te limpiaba la cola.
No, bitch, deja tú eso, que están bien locos los dos. Like, they're both like, nada que ver.
Yeah.
Nada que ver. Nada que ver.
You're like, you're technically an adult. Like, you're going out into the, the world.
I don't think that that's correct. Like, people shouldn't say that you're an adult at 18.
No, you're not.
Because at 18, you're barely figuring shit out.
I think you're not even an adult at 21.
Pero en 21 tú agarras un poco mala onda.
No, pero pues your frontal lobe doesn't develop until you're 25.
Okay, fucking...
Pero.
Neurologist and shit.
Pero espérate.
¿Qué?
Pero you can enlist in the army at 18.
Pues sí, pero yo creo que por eso lo hicieron, ¿no?
But then you can't drink until you're 21.
I don't know.
But you can go get a loan for the rest of your life so you can pay off school.
Yeah.
At 18.
At 18, yeah. That's crazy. Pero yeah, so I'm officially at 39.
At 39.
At 39. And I feel like
Are 29.
I'm thriving at 39.
¿Cómo va la de 13 going on 30?
I'm 39 going on 30.
No. 30, flirty, and thriving? That's what she says?
Quién sabe, pero yo estoy bien chingona porque, I mean, 39 is 39.
What rhymes with 39? 39?
I don't know.
Estás bien fine.
39 and fine.
Yeah, there you go. That's the only thing I can come up with.
So,
A ver, ¿qué más?
I don't know, but my husband's turning 40, so that's all that matters. I don't, like, that's funny.
Que él llega primero.
Él llega primero, yeah.
Gracias a Dios.
Gracias.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I think 39 is a good age. I feel like I've done a lot for 39. Like, all my craziness and all of that has... I mean, yes, do I have a lot of on my plate? Yeah, pero
I mean,
everybody does. And I think that I don't feel old. I feel like I'm 39.
And who says 39 is old?
Nobody. Pero
Yeah.
yo me acordaba cuando I was younger. Dude,
Well,
39,
yeah, me too.
like, bitch.
Me too. We're
You
like
would
when you
think-
were like 10, you're like, oh, you're going to be 25.
Oh, yeah. It's like, damn,
pinche
you're
vieja.
fucking old.
But now...
Somebody today that was a patient of mine, forever doesn't know I work with in the healthcare. Pero the patient and their birthday was 2004.
Yeah.
Bitch. I went to high school, like I graduated high school in 2004. And then when I saw it, I'm like, are these people able to be seen?
Are you sure it's not?
They're 21.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Pero está chido, too. Está chido. Like, you live your experiences and you do what you got to do, and that's all that matters.
You grow old. Other people are born that are younger.
So, happy birthday to me.
Woo!
And,
Como cha-cha-cha.
oh, I hate when people do that.
Oh, never mind.
And my son does that.
Yeah. All the years.
This is going to be the first year of a birthday that I am not going to have a clinic birthday party in a long time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we would go all out. This is my first time that I won't have.
You would go all out for everybody else.
No. But yeah, pero también everybody would do it for me. Like, I mean, this is the first time that I'm not going to have a sign that says it's my birthday, and then all the patients that would come in would say happy birthday,
or that you like walk in y está todo decorado.
Yeah,
because you work at your house.
Because I work at my house and I have nobody here but my cat and my dog.
What about your children's and your husband's?
They don't care about me that much.
But you do it for them.
Yeah, all the time. And I'll do it again. Pero como quiera, this is my first time. I was thinking about that earlier. I was walking. I'm like, dude, this is the first time that I'm not going to walk in or like something.
Yeah.
Pero nada. Este año estoy solita and está bien. No pasa nada.
You have Pooter and Mari.
Mari, I don't know. Mari was my ass. Pero other than that, everything is going good. Everything is going so good. I feel good. I've been on my hot girl summer walks. Yesterday, I found a turtle outside.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of wanted to bring it home with me. Pero...
You've had turtles before.
Yeah, pero I don't think that Mari would do good with the turtle. Se la va, like,
she's going to knock it over or something.
No, she was going to leave a hacer algo.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, mejor no.
Just leave him out. Leave the turtle. Did you put it back in its environment?
My husband, since he thinks that he's a
Ologist,
that he thinks que es fucking Robert Irvine, me dijo que acababa de nacer.
Robert who?
Irvine. Senior.
Irwin.
Irvin. Ay, verga, le dije mal, pobre.
I was like, who? Excuse me. R.I.P. Queen.
King. Pero my husband said, no, es que tiene nada más poquito que nació. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, because estaba like so small.
How, you didn't put it back in the water? It's right there?
That's what I did.
Okay.
Pero he wasn't in the water. You know how the according to my husband, las mamás van y los tienen in the sand. So he wasn't in the water. He was trying to cross the
little
walkway.
the path.
So lo iban a pisar porque la gente va como caminando rápido. Y entonces that's when I saw him. And then my husband's like, don't pick it up. And I'm like, why would I not?
I have to put him in the water.
Yeah, he needs to be safe.
Put it.
So I put it in the water and I said, poop. And then he flew in there. Well, he didn't fly, pero
he made his way.
Yeah.
He knew what he needed to do. I'm sure he'll find his parents.
I don't think that they find their parents again. Los dejan los parents.
No, because whenever we go, siempre están like little families, like little tribes of turtles. They're all like chilling and stuff.
Not the tribe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, let's do what I love to do the most. What are we talking about? Or where are we going today?
For today's case, I'm pretty sure we've gone to New Orleans before, right?
Bitch, no sé.
I want to say that we have.
No me acuerdo. I would remember though. I love New Orleans. I've never been to the actual like fun part of New Orleans, but the fact that New Orleans is, I think New Orleans is so cool.
And it's so close. Just drive.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I've never been like.
I know, but I'm just saying like for it to be so close and you know.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think it's so cool.
It's close.
And then like I watched Haunted Mansion. It was really good.
And you went to the game, right? To the in Disney? Didn't you go?
No, I didn't go. That was my past life.
Maybe. Okay.
So yeah, we went to Nueva Orleans.
New Orleans, however you pronounce it.
So if you would like to grab... Oh, wait. What was I going to say? Wait. If you would like to come with us to New Orleans or Nueva Orleans, go ahead and grab your cafecitos.
And let's get started. Now...
That was creepy.
Well, it have to be creepy for New Orleans.
It is, yeah.
The fun, random, interesting facts. More than one.
Okay.
About New Orleans are, number one, that it is the city where the first poker game was ever played.
No, I don't think we've been to New Orleans.
Sí, way.
No way.
No, sí.
No way. For real, I don't think so. We've been to like other places in Louisiana, pero no, New Orleans.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like it's going to come to a point where we're going to, maybe repeat the same shit, pero...
No pasa nada.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. Because it's our podcast. We could do it.
Yeah.
We could do that.
But yeah, that's...
The first poker game
was ever played was in New Orleans.
That's actually pretty cool.
According to rusticpathways.com,
Órale.
Poker originated back in the 19th century using a 20-card pack.
Yeah.
There is a similar French game called, I think this is how you say it, poke.
Wow.
I think. Oh, poke. No sé.
Like
but I think,
Pokemon?
no, like Poque. Poke.
Oh, side story, guys. I've been on my Pokemon Go journey and I fucking love it, by the way. So everybody pay Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So Poke, which dates, so this game dates back to the 17th century. And when French colonists brought it over to New Orleans, English settlers that were already here changed the name to poker and made it into the game that is known as for today.
Cool. That's awesome.
So just know that it originated in New Orleans. So fun fact number 2. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that New Orleans is considered the most haunted city in America.
Yeah.
Its most haunted locations include Lalaurie Mansion.
Yeah, because
I know I've heard her story, and
yeah, me too.
She's like a character in season 3 of American Horror Story, Coven.
I don't think I've finished watching season 3.
It's a Coven.
Yeah.
Iconic. Not her, but like, you know, the witches. Doesn't matter. También St. Louis. She was horrible person.
I think that wasn't she like a
She used to
side story. Ella era la que mataba los slaves, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
she was a slave owner, and she would like torture them and other horrific shit.
Wow. Okay.
The St. Louis Cemetery #1 también, and Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop and the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, to name a few. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that's like a lot more.
I wonder, you can take like a tour and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
Would you go to a cemetery?
Yeah. I've been to New Orleans before, but we just went for my friend's birthday. So we were just there one day and drove back the next day.
No, I know, pero like, would you do the touristy stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. ¿Qué tal si te traes algo para la casa?
Pues nomás dices, así te haces una limpia, güey.
No, güey, así no funciona.
¿A que si llévate la hierba?
Eso dices tú, güey. Pero ¿qué tal?
Well, aren't you supposed to sage?
You never know.
Nomás, aren't you supposed to say something like, no spirits follow me, sage yourself? There's different types of sage. I don't know about none of that, but I know.
Me neither, dude. I have no idea, but I need to look it up.
Pero you know what? I've heard the people that they like antique shop.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Have, like there's stuff attached to
my God,
antique items. Y luego you bring it into your house.
Como like the original doll, from the Annabelle. Well, it wasn't Annabelle. It was called something else. Pero they say que the original doll is still haunted and that they have it locked up like con llave and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it might not be the biggest truth.
Yeah, because we know how they,
pero I mean, I'm pretty sure
I'm sure there's other. Yeah, I'm just saying.
But that's cool.
But anyways, so that's that. And then the fact number 3 is that Bourbon Street got its name from the engineer who worked for the city's founder.
Bro, I thought it was from the actual drink.
No, that's what a lot of people think. So the city's founder was Frenchman Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne. I think that's how you say it, sir. I probably butchered that shit.
It up, yeah.
Yeah. So the engineer's his name was Adrien Despauges. Oh.
No way, no mames.
Sí.
No.
And he actually obviously laid out the streets of the city.
Uh-huh.
So he named Bourbon Street after the French royal family that was ruling at the time, House of Bourbon. So that's why it's called Bourbon Street, not because of
the drink.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I had no idea.
But now you know.
Now I know. Nunca se me va a olvidar, pero until next time when we do
somewhere case in New Orleans.
No, next time we do New Orleans, voy a decir lo mismo. Because my dumb ass is gonna be like, yeah, and you're like, we said this already.
No, you're gonna be like, I've heard this before. This is true. Let me write it to you.
This sounds like it's correct.
Yeah,
since you've already said it.
Now we'll begin this case with Keana Barnes, who it's so weird because not weird, just odd because she's had it all. Like she had it all. She had everything.
How it usually happens.
She needed to succeed, but somewhere, I don't know what happened to her or things took a turn. And I don't think anybody could have predicted where she was going to end up.
Mm.
So Keana Barnes was born on November 29th, 1979 in New Orleans. Her parents did fairly well for themselves. Her dad, he was previously in the military and now had a good position at a cable company. And her mom was a children's book author. So Keana grew up wanting for nothing and attended the best private schools growing up. She had a great childhood. She was a happy kid in a close-knit family. She was described as very outgoing, bubbly, friendly. She was well-mannered. She had lots of friends. She was also smart and beautiful and had dreams of becoming a model and gaining fame. Now, in her teens, Keana began to clash with her parents, which is not uncommon.
Yeah, I was about to say that happens all the time.
Yeah, one would say normal teenage behavior. She began to hang around with kids that her parents did not approve of. I'm not sure where she met these kids out of nowhere. Si era una bolita de niños at her school that they would just want to be the bad kids, or quién sabe. So she began to rebel and spiral out of control, so much so that she left her home at the age of 16 and began to live with different friends.
Damn.
Not only did she leave her home, but she also stopped attending private school and transferred to a public school.
Ella sola.
Ella sola.
She made these decisions by herself, or her parents signed for it? Or
I'm pretty sure your parents had to sign for it, right? Because it's not like she emancipated herself.
Yeah, you
right?
can't do that. Yeah.
And especially at 16. So obviously, it was a complete 180 from the nice, privileged life that she knew and grew up with. So Keana did graduate, but now that she didn't have, I'm assuming, the support of her parents, her college plans were placed on hold.
So she still didn't live with her parents. She just lived like bouncing around in houses?
Yeah, like crashing on couches and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
And her parents just were, I guess, at one point you just kind of be like,
what are you
I've
supposed to
argued
do?
with you this much. Like, okay, fine, bye.
Yeah.
¿Qué más haces, right? Okay.
In the meantime, 18-year-old Keana began to strip. It was not long after that she met the man who would become her husband. He was a sheriff deputy. His name was Clinton Lewis. So after a night out with her friends, Keana and the group made a pit stop at a gas station. And Clinton Lewis was wearing his uniform, and he had just gotten off a shift when he stopped at la misma gas station de donde estaba Keana. So I don't know how the two struck up a conversation, and then things just moved fucking fast afterward.
Yeah.
They were soon living together, and things seemed to be going well. Clinton even convinced Keana to quit stripping.
That must have been hard.
Yeah.
Because strippers make
bank.
And you can only do it, I'm guessing, porque yo no soy stripper, pero you can only do it for a certain amount of time porque luego ya no puedes. Like,
When she was 18.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, yo no me puedo decir, oh, ya mañana I'm going to go strip because I'm 39.
So,
pero I'm just saying, like, me personally, like, I would be like, dude, me duelen las rodillas. Ya no me puedo mover como antes. Like, I can't shake it like I used to. So you have I guess you have like a certain amount of time.
But what if you're just fit all the time?
Well, yeah.
Since you were a kid.
But no, like, I would be scared que me caigo y luego me quebro la cresta otra vez.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm just saying, if you want to strip at any age, I say go for it.
I'm just saying me personally.
Okay.
So I
you
feel like
you at almost 39 tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just thinking now for ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Que si me puedo caer.
No, I'm just saying, see, the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
You would be like, no,
please.
No puedo con mis knees.
No puedo con mis knees. ¿Qué tal si me pego?
Yeah.
I could hurt
But
my
what if
teeth.
you make $5 million? Would you risk it for the cash?
I don't know. I don't have upper body strength. Like, no puedo. Like,
Yeah.
no puedo. Me cuelgo, me voy a caer. Like, I'm scared. Like, that's what I'm saying. At 18,
you would
I
need
would
to
have
train.
done it.
Yeah.
At 18, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Pero I didn't have this body when I was 18.
Yeah.
Pero what I'm saying is, like, she probably has that amount of time, that she's like, shit, I have to fucking...
Maybe she liked it. I mean, maybe she just liked it,
Hey, money's money.
Yeah. As long as you're not fucking killing anybody. Do what you got to do.
Well, yeah.
We look where we're at.
We're at here for a reason.
So again, they were doing so well that a year into mating. Yeah, I'm sure they were mating.
I'm guessing they were mating, Estela.
Yes.
But I didn't know that we were in the 1800s. Hello. You're mating with your partner, sir?
I didn't know they were animals.
Yeah.
A year into dating and mating, I'm sure. They got married.
Oh, good for them.
In 1999. Okay. According to Clinton, Keana enjoyed taking care of the home, and she settled well into the role of a wife and a partner.
She was a housewife. Okay.
Yeah, and a partner,
Yeah.
But as time passed, the couple began to have many arguments. And I'm sure every couple fights, but I don't think everybody fights like they did.
Oh, really?
The arguments escalated so much that police became involved in their domestic disputes. And there were a lot of them. And remember, he was a police officer.
Yeah.
By 2001, things had gotten strained between the couple. So 22-year-old Keana moved out of the home and was once again crash surfing.
Poor thing, man.
Couch
At
surfing.
22.
Yeah.
Wow.
However, even though they were no longer living together, the couple was still seeing each other.
And the parents no were like, vente pa acá o algo?
I don't think she wanted that. I don't think obviously she left her parents' home, and I just think she just adapted to a different type of lifestyle that maybe she just didn't want to be, maybe cooped up or just be perfect all the time, or quién sabe,
yeah.
Eventually, Clinton realized that his tumultuous relationship with Keana was no good for his career. And
or for his health.
Right? Physical.
Physical, yeah.
And so he thought that it was best to move on from her and his marriage. He communicated this to Keana.
They were divorced.
Yeah. He, of course, communicated this to Keana. And while at the beginning she was upset, she soon changed her tune and told him that, it was fine because she had already met somebody new.
A la verga.
And this someone new, according to her, was PJ Jennings.
Okay, PJ.
So his full name is Perry Jennings Jr., but they call him PJ. He had a different childhood than Keana. Unlike her, he was quiet. He liked to read. He played chess. He was into video games. He was introverted. Mm-hmm. And after he graduated from high school, he joined the Air Force.
So he was all about the rules. Like he wanted, to follow something.
Yeah, he was quiet, reserved. Yeah,
okay.
And obviously he didn't grow up in an affluent family like she did. According to his family, joining the Air Force actually made PJ break out of his shell a little bit more, and he became a little bit more outgoing.
In the Air Force?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. By 2001, PJ was living in the neighborhood known as Algiers, which is on the other side of the Mississippi River in New Orleans, which is across the French Quarter.
So my suegra, side story, calls Mississippi Me hice pipí.
Yeah.
But my son thinks that is so funny. Like he will go on and laughing about it. Y luego me dice, ¿cómo dice mi mamá? Me hice pipí. I'm like, me hice pipí. He cracks the fuck up. I don't know why he thinks it's so funny. Because she's hilarious. That's why.
Yeah, duh. Now, he had many friends, PJ, and he was close to his family. He was described as an older brother whom you could always call up for advice. Like, he was always there for you, trying to help you out. And I'm not really sure how he met Keana, to be honest. But when they did, Keana let him know that she was going through a hard time. Mm-hmm. And so PJ, being sympathetic and a sympathetic person, and he felt for her. So he offered up his couch for her to stay at. Meanwhile, she figured out her situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So PJ se la trajo. Se la trajo to meet his friends and his family.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, well, they were just friends, like they were hanging out. He introduced her to his dad, Perry. So his dad's name is Perry. So PJ told him that Keana was going through some trouble and needed help. And he told his friends a little bit more detail about her situation. So no le dijo a su dad, pero sí le dijo a sus friends que she had been in an abusive marriage and that she was staying with him while she found somewhere else to stay.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's not true. Well, based on what we didn't know, that they were, technically they would abuse each other.
Yeah.
But not like, I don't know. It just sounded like she was saying like he was abused, like he would beat her or something.
Yeah, like she didn't also play a...
Not that she would
keep
say
your
that,
hands to yourself, right?
But
it seemed like in this scenario, they both...
Yeah, because
abused each other.
Like PJ sounded like he was telling his dad, I'm helping her out because she was in this situation. Pero like it wasn't like she was like, hey, I fucking would argue.
We were both
back,
toxic. Yeah. So his friends recalled Keana being very pretty girl and very nice, but that she looked like she looked a little rough, como que you could tell that she would sleep on the streets. O que dormía on the streets.
Ay, amiga, pobrecita. No se bañaba.
Pues quién sabe.
Ay, amiga. Pobrecita. Déjenla que no se bañe.
So despite what Keana had told Clinton about finding somebody new, she and PJ were just friends. Okay?
Yeah, you made that clear.
But that's not what she told Clinton.
Oh, shit.
Remember? She had told Clinton that she had found somebody new.
But
maybe she was trying to make him jealous. I don't know.
To be honest, I thought maybe she had found somebody else, not PJ.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Now, for the next year or so, they would lose touch and reconnect, PJ and Keana.
Okay.
Yeah, because she would crash at his place when she needed somewhere to stay for a bit. And that's it. But she was just all over.
I feel like she was used to that.
Yes.
Like she didn't know any better.
Yeah, she had been doing it since she was 16.
Yeah, so to her, that was her way
This is her lifestyle.
That was her lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, maybe that's why when I was thinking maybe her parents, but at the same time, maybe she wouldn't go back to that.
There's people that don't, that are homeless by choice. Like, they have family and friends that want to help them, but they're like, no, I just want to be
left
like
alone.
a nomad or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So on March 27, 2003, a woman called the New Orleans police after 11 in the morning regarding her 30-year-old son, PJ Jennings.
Uh-oh.
She and her husband hadn't been able to contact her son for 2 days, and he had also not shown up to work. At this time, PJ was an Air Force sergeant who worked at a base nearby. So, and obviously him not showing up to work was
doesn't sound like something that PJ, that you even said that he like came out of his shell. It sounded like he really enjoyed his job. Yeah.
Right. So when PJ's mother wasn't able to get a hold of him, she went to look for him at his apartment. When he didn't answer the door, she got a hold of the apartment manager to be let into the apartment. When they went inside, they made a tragic discovery. And that's when PJ's mother called 911. So PJ was found dead in his bedroom.
What?
On the bed with a single gunshot wound to the head.
Oh, shit.
When officers arrived, they found a pillow that had a bullet hole, which led them to believe that it had been used to muffle the sound or used as some sort of silencer. Not from Temu, remember?
Girl, please, people, don't buy silencers from anywhere.
So PJ had not committed suicide. That was like an initial thought, maybe. So
because of the way he was found, like in the bed?
Because he was just found with the gunshot wound in his bed. Uh-huh. Like he wasn't disturbed or anything.
Wow. So imagine finding your son, like I cannot
like
imagine.
That. Yeah. That's so he had been murdered. Él no se había quitado la vida él mismo.
Yeah.
Also, the scene didn't match that of a robbery, which was another possible theory. There was no forced entry, and things were not in disarray in the apartment. Uh-huh. Things were where they supposed to be. And also, there was weed and a couple of weapons that were still at his apartment.
So they weren't trying to steal the weed.
Right. Because that's something that would have been taken, right?
That's what I would take. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's
if you were trying to rob somebody.
I was trying to rob somebody. Maybe not the guns, but the weed for sure.
The investigator's theory was that whoever had snuck up on PJ did it while he was sleeping, grabbed a pillow that they used as a silencer, and shot him. And neighbors didn't report hearing anything.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yeah. The motive, they believe, maybe now was drugs, since they had been found in the apartment.
Yeah.
But PJ's family told investigators que nada que ver because he wasn't a drug dealer. I mean, people just smoke weed, like.
I'm surprised that the Air Force would let him in the Air Force smoking weed.
We don't know if it was his.
That's what I'm saying, because I don't think that I think they have like a strict policy about that. So maybe because they probably drug test them and stuff.
I have no idea. I can't say, but
me neither. But
it
what
just
I'm saying
appears
is, it just appears like, to me, it sounds crazy. You know me and my fucking theories.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds crazy that would be there.
Yeah.
¿Quién sabe?
So they did have someone in mind who might have known what had happened to him. And that person was a troubled young woman named Keana Barnes, who was a friend of his that had been staying with him for the past few weeks.
Yeah. That's what his mom said.
That's what the family told police.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing.
The family also informed investigators that initially PJ and Keana met after she had left her husband and that he offered her somewhere to stay a while back. With this new information, investigators looked up the name Keana Barnes, clickety-clack-clack-click, and they made a surprising discovery.
Surprising
discovery.
Okay.
They learned that Keana was wanted for second-degree murder.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
The victim's name was, at the time, 41-year-old James Robert Shepard, or Jimmy as he was called.
What? That turned ¿cómo se llama? That turned a corner quick.
So let's go back about a year or so.
Okay.
So when PJ was found, it was March 2003.
2003, yeah.
So now we're going back to February 2002. Atrás, un mes. 13 meses.
Ajá, yeah.
No, un año.
Y un mes. Okay.
Yeah. So,
bien pendeja, ya un mes. The fuck?
In 2002, Jimmy was living in a trailer community called Irish Bayou on the eastern outskirts of New Orleans. We learned that Jimmy met Keana at a truck stop in February of that year.
Yeah.
Just like she had met Clinton at a gas station. By the time she had met Jimmy, she had already known PJ and had already been staying with him.
So she was back and forth through PJ and okay.
So ya lo conocía, PJ
But
ya lo
I told you,
conocía.
I knew that because that's what I had said. You see, I am not that dumb. Porque yo dije, it didn't even sound like it was PJ that she had told her husband. Or
ex-husband.
Whatever.
Yeah. So when she met Jimmy, she had finished staying, se acababa de ir de la casa de PJ. You know, she was bouncing around again. So the night that she met Jimmy, she pulled into the truck stop with the broken down car.
Okay.
And Jimmy offered her help and told her to, hey, put your car up in here. We'll get it fixing at first thing tomorrow. And you can spend the night at my place, so we can, meanwhile, we fix your car. So I thought she had nowhere else to go. Where was she going to go? And her car was broken down. So she accepted his offer. It took some time, about a week or two, but Jimmy eventually did fix Keana's car. In the meantime, they had started a relationship. She was 22 and Jimmy was 41. So Jimmy's brothers went on to say that Keana seemed, again, everybody says she seems like a sweet girl, right? That she's nice.
But she looked rough.
Right. Apparently, Jimmy liked to show off Keana because she was young and beautiful.
She was young and beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and he couldn't believe that maybe she was giving him the time of day since he was double her age and a little bit rough around the edges,
Yeah.
On April 2nd, remember, we're in 2002 and they met in February. So now we're on April 2nd. Around 6 a.m, a coworker of Jimmy's stopped at his place to give him a ride to work. When he made it inside, the trailer was a mess. Puro pinche desmadre everywhere. And there in the living room was Jimmy in a pool of blood, dead.
Damn.
We later learned that he had been stabbed a total of 17 times.
17.
17. 17. On his back, on his arms, his neck, his face.
He needed to be stabbed 17 times.
The coworker called the police, and he also notified Jimmy's brothers, Paul and Mark.
Okay.
Now, Paul and Mark informed the police that Jimmy had been seeing Keana, and that according to Mark, the night before, on April 1st, he and Jimmy were hanging out and shooting the shit and drinking. Y que le habló Keana a Jimmy. Y que le dijo, hey, I want to see you. I want to spend the night, or, I want to spend some time together. So, pues, Jimmy se fue con Keana, right?
Yeah.
Besides giving them Keana's name, Paul and Mark also notified the police that Jimmy's van was also missing.
Oh, not the van.
The van. So an APB was put out for the van, and Mark aquí todo proactive, took it upon himself to begin calling around to friends and we're hey, we need to find Jimmy's truck now. So everybody started looking around.
That's when you know you have a community.
Yep. Because by 8:30 in the morning, they have received a call that they had seen Jimmy's van.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And it was seen at a car wash in Slidell, which was on the other side of Lake Pontchartrain from the Irish Bayou.
Okay.
The police located the van. And a few blocks from the car wash where the van was found, they also found Keana at a women's shelter.
Okay. So she left La Vans.
Y se fue
al
women's shelter. Yes.
Okay.
She was taken to Slidell's police department where New Orleans police officers questioned her. According to her, so esto es lo que ella dice que pasó, okay?
Okay.
So we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So according to Keana, the night before, she and Jimmy had been drinking beer in his trailer and they got into an argument and that things got out of hand. She specified that, or she claimed that she stabbed Jimmy in self-defense because he tried to rape her.
Okay, but you left with his van.
Afterward, she was in disbelief and she was scared about what had happened, so she fled the scene in Jimmy's van.
You took La Vans.
They learned that after leaving Jimmy's van at the car wash, she walked to the women's shelter, but not before stopping at a liquor store on the way. Then she used Jimmy's credit card to make a purchase.
Es que ya, that doesn't look good. I'm sorry. Es que ya eso ya te pasaste de verga. O sea, está bien que you were scared for your life. You were scared for your life, pero...
I mean, I understand maybe ditching the van and going to a women's shelter, but stopping for liquor on the way there, como que...
Using his credit card, bitch. Ya te pasaste de verga.
Maybe don't stab somebody.
How about that?
Se pasó de verga.
Se pasó de verga desde un principio.
Right.
I don't understand why people get in arguments when they drink.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it makes them angry, but me, when I drink, I just want to chill, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me quiero estar nada más drinking more. Maybe I'll dance.
Yo me duermo.
Yeah, Estela se duerme.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Sí, she's gonna go to sleep. And sometimes I'm like, ya no tomes porque si no ya te duermes. Pero like, I don't, like, that's never, maybe everybody reacts to the alcohol different.
Maybe they have some underlying anger issues that just were like.
You took it very philosophical right now.
Yeah.
You took it too far. Okay, let's go.
It's not the kind of podcast.
It's not the kind of podcast. I'm sorry. How are you feeling?
It's not about philosophy here.
Not about philosophy.
Now, Keana was arrested and taken back to the New Orleans Parish Jail, where she was to be charged with second-degree murder. However, by some mix-up of the district attorney's office, Keana wasn't charged within the 60-day time frame.
So that's common. What I've heard in New Orleans, I'm not sure if this is true or not.
Or in the state, or it has to be the state of Louisiana.
In Louisiana. But in the state of Louisiana, if there's no charges brought against you,
a certain amount of time.
Yes, then they let you go.
Exactly. So, like we just said, there's a 60-day time frame, and she didn't get charged for whatever reason.
So, like, they have to charge them quickly.
Right.
Porque si no, los
within the
dejan
60
ir.
days.
Yeah, los dejan ir.
So, by the time they caught the mistake, she had already been released.
Bro, what the fuck? So, they didn't even... Wait a minute. So, this guy's murder didn't even get... Like, nobody's... Okay.
Now, as a free woman...
Yes, I can see that. Did she take his van, too?
Keana did what she always did and drifted from place to place.
Yeah.
Staying in women's shelters or with friends like PJ, whom she had reconnected with in March 2003. They had lost communication right before Keana met and began a relationship with Jimmy. So according to PJ's friends, they were adamant. They were like, hey, they're not involved in any sort of relationship. They're just friends. PJ was reportedly seeing somebody else.
I knew it.
It is also reported that PJ was aware that there was a warrant out for Keana's arrest for murder.
Oh, shit.
And he wasn't the only one that knew. His dad, Perry, had taken it upon himself, I don't know why, no sé si le dio mala espina or bad vibes, ahí está, to look up Keana, and it came out that she had been involved in a murder. So Perry mentioned this to his son, and PJ stated that he already knew, that he was aware que Keana le había dicho.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that también he's the law, so he probably would look shit up,
According to Perry, PJ told him that Keana told him what she had told the police, that Jimmy had tried to rape her and that she stabbed him in self-defense.
But I think that we should normalize people looking up other people if you're going to date them.
Oh, yeah.
I think you should normalize that because...
Run a background check.
Yeah, because you never know.
Google it.
Something.
Yeah.
Because va a salir algo.
Something's going to come up. El que busca encuentra.
Sí. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even in el Face or in el Insta, whatever, in a snappy chat.
Yeah.
Nada más because I feel like for your own safety, especially women that, a lot of the times these men, they be lying and, Women too. So then that's what I'm saying.
Just whoever.
I think we should normalize that.
Yeah. I think it is. Like, it shouldn't be like... you looked me up? Yes, bitch.
I sure
did.
As fucking did.
And my sister knows too who you are.
Yeah.
And my mom. Yeah. And my dad.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I told my family I did a presentation.
Yeah. Con pinche PowerPoint. Yep. Fuck yeah.
Now, in learning this, que Keana le dijo a PJ, he encouraged her to seek legal help for her case since she had done it in self-defense, and that he was going to help her, but that she needed to help herself. She needed to turn herself in, pues, to do it the right way.
He was just trying to do it the right. Yeah. Okay.
He was like, he was in the Air Force, bitch. Like,
yeah, he was like, I'll help you, but you need to turn yourself in.
Yeah, like this is the right way to go about things.
Technically, I'm not trying to be funny, pero technically, ella no tuvo la culpa que la sacaron del jail.
No, pendeja, pero you still committed a murder.
Yes, pero ¿cómo va a ser? Okay, so disculpe, señor, ya me sacaron, pero I want to come back.
But there was a warrant out for her arrest.
Oh, there was a warrant out for her arrest. Okay, yes. I didn't know that. Eso no explicaste, güey, no mames.
Pendeja, te dije.
I don't remember. So I'm over here thinking, see, if there's no warrant, nobody's looking for me. Like, why am I going to be like, hey, excuse me, señor?
Yeah, I did say it.
Can you take me back to jail, please? Because
take me back here.
Take me back
Arrest
here.
Me.
So, I mean, that made no sense, but okay.
And again, Perry, Perry's el papá de PJ, stated that even though PJ told him that Keana was just a friend, Keana told him something different.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Al papá.
Sí.
Okay.
One night, when PJ and Keana went over, I guess, to his house for dinner, to his mom and his dad's house for dinner, she confessed to Perry that she had feelings for his son y que she was in love with him.
Oh, shit.
Perry le dijo a su hijo, hey,
be careful.
Keana has these feelings for you. Maybe you should, clear things up with her so there's no miscommunication or misunderstandings.
100% agree. And why can't we women normalize being friends with somebody?
Like men and women?
Men and women, yeah. What's wrong with being your friend?
No, but what if one likes you?
But pues you let it go.
Pues it'd be like, I don't like you.
Okay, I don't like you. It's not like that, but you know what? I want to help you, but
like, you're my bro.
You're my bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Pero like, you can't, I don't want to have a relationship with you.
Yeah, which is cool.
Pero, but a lot of the times no pasa eso.
Yeah.
Like, it's taboo, another taboo. Ahora, the word of the day is taboo.
Yeah, spell it, a ver.
Taboo.
No, pero deletréala.
Así es, güey. Taboo.
No,
Mira, te voy a decir algo. It just turns into a whole mess once a girl and a boy, male and a female try to be friends. Like, then they start, one likes the other one y todo eso, and then they're like, oh, let's try it. It's unnecessary.
And then you ruin the relationship.
Yeah.
Or the friendship. I mean.
Unnecessary.
But you're just saying that they should be friends.
Yes. I think that people are okay with being friends. A male and a female can be friends. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just saying. But then one ends up liking the other.
Uh-huh.
Solo se deshace.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that también ella estaba mal en eso.
Yeah.
De que, sabes que if he says, hey, that's not what I want, I want to be your friend.
Somebody else.
And he was seeing someone else, then she should have been like, oh, pues sí, yo entiendo, and that's it.
Now, with all this information, because remember, police are learning this in regards to PJ's, right?
Sí.
Porque ya he was found dead. Now knowing that Keana had been staying with him, police were on the search for her.
Sí, porque she took somebody's lavan.
And then she had been wanting for second-degree murder. And then PJ was found dead. And they're like, oh, she was staying with him. And then,
what's up?
We're going to go look for her.
Yeah.
But just like in Jimmy's murder, she was nowhere to be found.
Of course.
Having taken PJ's car and wallet.
¿Te dije?
It was literally a copycat, a repeat. Investigators were able to track her movements based on the purchases that she made on the credit cards, where she actually signed her whole last name and shit.
Damn. Like, she didn't even try.
She didn't give a fuck.
She didn't give a fuck.
Truly. So she went from New Orleans to Baton Rouge to Lafayette to Houston, and from Houston to Brownsville, Texas.
Oh.
Based on the route that she was taking, they knew that her ass was going to Mexico.
You ain't got no money, girl.
Tiene las tarjetas de crédito, pues.
Sí, pues. Pero, ¿qué va?
She's already...
Se las va a acabar, güey.
Pendeja, pero she had been making purchases along the way. So, tarjetas de crédito tienen un límite, pero,
I mean, I'm just saying, vas a pasar to the other side.
And wait, hold up. Hold up.
Hold up? Wow. Okay, hold up.
So,
I'm holding up.
She was trying to disguise herself along the way because she had purchased hair dye in Houston.
A la madre.
Sí. So, and then she bought cigarettes and snacks and shit. So le
valió verga que estaba muerto el PJ.
El muchacho.
Que
lo estaba ayudando. He truly cared about trying to help you and shit.
So then you didn't give a fuck because you took his car.
And his
monies. That's not right. That's not right.
A few days later, police found PJ's car abandoned in Brownsville, which let them know that she had successfully crossed into Mexico. With Keana now in a different country, the U.S. Marshal Service became involved, and they were able to actually track her down.
Good.
Let me tell you how. Porque está pendeja la güey.
Pues sí, güey.
You see, Keana was still using PJ's cards and wiring money to herself, and the money was tracked down to her location, to Zitácuaro, which is a small mountain town.
Not the town. Mountain town. What the fuck was that? Is it a mountain town? What is it?
Mountain town.
Not the mountain town. The fuck?
Mountain town 2 hours west of Mexico City, where she was staying in a roadside hotel or motel.
Mm-hmm.
So in the early hours of April 30th, 2003, U.S. Marshals and local police surrounded Keana's motel room as she slept.
Got him.
They kicked down the door, and she was placed under arrest for the murders of Jimmy Shepard and PJ Jennings, and was extradited to the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Back to New Orleans.
She's just 23.
Bitch.
Yeah.
She's a baby.
So su lóbulo frontal todavía no lo tiene.
Remember, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
You're not an adult at 18. No.
She's 23.
She's 23. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
at 18, and then you even said at 21, you're still, so if she's 23, so ahí va. Pero
Yeah,
no.
ya mero, pero not yet. Not quite yet.
No.
And she didn't seem fazed. Like, obviously, she was surrounded by, like, massive amounts of officers and, you know, just como una pinche SWAT and shit, como una pinche película. And she was just like nada, güey. Like, no emotion, nothing.
The fuck?
When she was advised, so obviously they like estaban transferiendo back to like the police department. She was advised of her rights by the detectives. And then she stated that she wouldn't be in jail long.
Oh, once again, she thought they were going to forget to charge her.
When she was interviewed for PJ's murder now, because remember, she hadn't been interviewed up until now, she didn't say one word and kept quiet.
Okay, I'm not surprised.
But even though she wasn't saying anything in respect to PJ's murder, let's remember she had admitted to killing Jimmy and was finally indicted on second-degree murder charge for his death.
So they were like, we're not wasting time with you, lady.
Now we're going to charge you right now.
Right now.
It's not going to happen again. As soon as you walked in,
charged.
In PJ's murder, investigators had two theories on why she might have done it. The first being that PJ was urging her to turn herself in y esta no quería.
Yeah.
So maybe...
or maybe ella pensó he's going to turn me in.
Right. Yeah. So he kind of, I mean...
But where'd she get the gun from? Maybe him?
Quién sabe. A lo
Was
mejor,
it his
because
gun?
he had guns in his apartment. So a lo mejor sí era de él. So maybe that's one possibility or one theory that they thought. The second theory was that maybe she was upset that he was seeing somebody else and maybe se le insinuó, or maybe she told him, hey, I like you.
And she was like, no,
and
I'm good.
He was like, no, I'm seeing somebody else. And maybe she got upset and pissed off and, you know, or maybe it was both, you know, you never know. Mm-hmm. So by this point, obviously los news de Keana were already out there. In Clinton, he actually was talking to news outlets about Keana's actual bad personality and her personality traits and how they had many fights in their relationship. According to him, if she didn't get her way, there was hell to pay.
Antes no lo mató.
That's a bar.
That is a bars.
So he recalled instances during their arguments where she slapped him, threw things at him, and even at one point, he said that she pulled a gun on him.
Danger.
He described how she pointed it at his face y que he lunged at her. He pushed it up and it shot over his head. They struggled and more shots rang out, a total of 6.
But I mean, we do know that they did have a tumultuous.
Based on the information investigators had gathered, they concluded that Keana planned PJ's murder because ella se esperó hasta que él estuviera dormido.
Sí, güey.
And then she grabbed the pillow to silence or muffle the sounds of the gun. So she was charged with first-degree murder and could be facing the death penalty.
Danger.
So during a preliminary hearing, Keana, again, no remorse, no emotion. Nada que ver, güey.
Nada, güey.
Nada. It was a possibility that she was keeping her cool because Keana's family had actually rallied around her to support her. Even though they had been estranged since her teens, they hired the best defense attorney money could buy.
Okay. They were trying to pay her back for what happened, I guess.
No matter how good this lawyer was, it couldn't be disputed that Keana had admitted to killing Jimmy and fled the country with PJ's credit cards.
Yeah.
Despite this, somehow, like, I do not know how this expensive ass lawyer was worth every penny because he managed to work out a plea deal for Keana.
What?
Which was worked out in secret behind the families of the victims' backs.
That's messed up.
The following year, on March 10th of 2014, PJ's family was made aware of this plea deal by a family friend that had, learned about it. And they were able to make it to court where Keana was going to enter her plea. So this is crazy. The terms of the deal between the DA and the defense attorney were that she had to plead guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter for both murders in exchange for 7 to 25 years, and that she would be eligible for parole after 3.5 years.
What? There's no way. So she's practically getting away with murder.
I was like, what?
How? What in the world?
I don't know. ¿A quién le rezaron? ¿Quién sabe? I have no idea.
What the hell? That's crazy.
So not only were the families devastated and taken aback by this deal, but also the judge.
Well,
The judge no sabía tampoco.
what?
Once the families notified the judge that they had not consented to this
Of
deal
course
or
not.
had not been made aware, the judge declined it.
Oh, good.
Instead, Keana's guilty pleas of manslaughter would stand, but the sentence was now going to be the max, which was 25 years with no parole.
Yeah, the least she could do is, oh my God.
Yeah.
And mind you, reminder, she's only 23.
Yeah. Well, by this time, it was 2014, so she was 24. Pero
24.
todavía no te el lóbulo frontal, todavía no
aquí
estaba.
no.
She's not 25 yet.
No.
Y la familia de ella se encabronó
Girl.
porque le dieron la max. Le dieron el max sentence.
Get over it. Go sit down in your house later.
Hello, she killed 2 people.
Yes, she sure did.
And
With no remorse.
she would have killed again, bitch.
Yes, she would have definitely killed again if she wouldn't have got what she wanted. Because that's what it sounded like. And that's what her ex-husband was saying. If she didn't get what she wanted, she would get very violent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was going to fucking do that again.
Yeah, if she did it twice.
Yeah.
So Keana was transferred to the Louisiana Correctional Institute for Women in St. Gabriel. And I don't think it's surprising to anyone that Keana's time in prison was rough at the beginning. It was just fight after fight that she would get into. But after some time, she managed to, I guess, fit in and got along with the inmates. And she even became popular.
Oh, my God. I mean, nobody says she wasn't a bad person. I'm not saying that. Just her decisions
She was a bad person. She killed people.
Well, I mean, she made a decision to kill those people.
That's a bad person.
I guess what I was trying to say, we're not saying that
she's a people person.
Yes, she was a people person.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a stripper. I mean, you have to talk to the guys and you have to, I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm not a stripper. But I'm just saying like.
We're not trying to offend anybody.
No. But I'm just saying, I feel like.
Maybe she's like a charmer, like she knows how to charm people.
That's what I meant. Like more of that, more or less that. Like we're not saying that she wasn't a good charmer.
Yeah,
we're just
not a good
saying
person. Like she's a bad person.
She made bad decisions.
Yeah,
and
she's a bad person.
She's a bad person.
Yeah. Now you might think that this is the end of Keana's story.
Probably not. She probably killed somebody somewhere else.
On New Year's Day in 2013, so this is 9 years into her 25-year sentence, Keana escaped from prison.
Shut the fuck up. What?
During the guards' morning head count, they noticed that it wasn't Keana in her bed, but a made-up dummy instead. Like, I don't know if she put like...
she did like they did on the cartoons.
Or en las sitcoms, yeah. I guess no sé si puso su sábana y sus cobijas ahí, like make it look como un bulto. Like,
¿Por dónde se salió?
It appeared that she accomplished this by somehow getting... it's not hard to get a hold of drugs in prison, I'm assuming. Right? So she ended up like crushing some drugs into... So obviously she was like in a pod, like she had some cellmates. There was 4 of them. It is reported that she crushed up the drugs in their like dinner or whatever. So they passed out. Se quedaron dormidas.
So she would serve them dinner?
Bitch, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know those details. I just know that this is how it happened. This is
maybe
reported
they're Cheetos. Because, if I'm in jail and if somebody's going to bring me Cheetos, I'm going to fucking tear them up.
Well, I don't know if she put them in their drink. Quién sabe, En la lonche, quién sabe. I don't know. So once they were asleep or knocked out at around 1 a.m. on New Year's Day, January 1st, she broke a window in the cell, climbed out, and then scaled a perimeter gate.
Oh, no. Se cree Spider-Man.
Spider-Woman.
What the fuck?
While she managed to jump over the wire fence, she didn't get out without hurting herself.
Pues sí, güey.
There was
de pinches
wires.
Wires, yeah.
So they found blood on the wires y también como un pedazo de of clothes, como que se le rompió, trying to... Like a piece of sweater or something, quedó atascada on the fence. Bloodhounds were immediately brought in and they were able to track her scent, but not for long. Like they ended up losing it. Now, Keana's escape was actually the second one in less than a week.
What? So they don't have a very good security.
Elaine Hunt Correctional Center, which I think was was next door, and a man named Josh Kelly escaped days prior on December 28th.
So she probably got the idea from there.
And thankfully, he was captured. A él sí lo volvieron a pescar. Espera. Bro, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, no, wait, let me tell you. The residents who lived nearby were not alerted.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Of the escape of these 2 inmates.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I mean, the one in Huntsville. I need somebody to
tell me.
How far is the one in the one in Huntsville? It's a max security prison, right?
Yeah, but they don't hold the killers there.
No, but I know like when we've how far is it from here? What, like an hour and a half maybe?
No, a little bit more.
I know when we're like going out of town or whatever that we pass by it. I remember one time we stopped at a Jack, o no me acuerdo. And it wasn't closed, but it was like in the same area of the prison. Yeah. And it said, and there were signs everywhere that says, "Hey, don't pick up hitchhikers." Don't pick up
hitchhikers.
Yeah, and all that's they're still there. Yeah. And I think there was a sign that somebody had fucking like escaped, and we're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here!" Yeah. Like, you know. But that's fucked up. De que no te dicen. Like, bitch, out.
I'm gonna need you to tell me.
Yeah, we're gonna have a town meeting.
Yeah, for sure.
In light of Keana's escape, a sergeant and a cadet were terminated from their positions.
Damn. Did they help her?
Well, no, because I think that they weren't paying attention. Right. Okay. And actually, one of them resigned and one of them was fired. I don't know which one was fired and which was resigned, but two were let go. So in Keana's case, there was national coverage of her escape, and she was considered to be armed and dangerous.
Well, yeah.
Authorities feared that she might try to escape to Mexico again, and they wouldn't be able to find her this time.
Yeah.
The U.S. Marshal Service was brought in again, along with other agencies, to be on the lookout all over the country. She was added to the list of U.S. Marshal Service's 15 most wanted in March.
Damn.
There were most wanted posters all over with her picture and information, and just days before she escaped, she had actually shaved her head. And initially, there was $1,000 reward information for her whereabouts, but that amount actually climbed up to $25,000. So almost 3 months after she escaped from prison, 3 months in March of 2013, in LA, 2 LAPD officers were patrolling Skid Row. And I know you know what Skid Row is, which is an area in downtown LA where a large population of people who are experiencing homelessness or a tough time, that's where they live. Well, the 2 officers spotted a homeless woman outside of the store and were going to issue her a ticket for loitering, which, is common. So they asked her for her ID and she didn't have it. So they told her that they were going to have to place her in the back of their police car, right? And I'm not sure what prompted this or why, but she just said, "You got me."
What?
That woman was Keana Barnes.
She said, "You got me."
Yeah. And she broke down.
Okay.
She was taken back to prison.
They probably weren't even like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I promise I'm not.
They probably didn't even
recognize her. They would have been
through like about 3 months already.
You are, especially in fucking LA.
In Skid Row. Well, I mean, I know they were looking for her all over the country. Yes. Like, I know that.
I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, they probably weren't looking that hard.
Maybe they were looking, quién sabe,
closer to Louisiana.
Or closer to the border, Mexico.
But not in LA.
And almost 3 months later?
And in Skid Row.
Yeah. What are the chances,
Yes, what are the chances, yeah.
So she was taken back to prison and given additional time for her escape. She is actually scheduled to be released from prison in 2027.
Wow.
At the age of 47. Because remember, she was so young.
But like, my deal is like, you already are there. Just do your time. Like, why even do that? Why escape?
Because she's a bad person.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, dude, like, that's a stupid ass decision. Why would you do that? You're already there. They already gave you a pretty legit sentence for killing. I'm talking about taking people's lives, 2 people. And you leaving with one man's van and the other man's car and their money. Yeah. And you went to Mexico. Just imagine all of this shit. And then you're going to tell me that you're still going to escape? Like, what the fuck is wrong with what goes through your brain?
Oh, quién sabe. But that's the case of Keana Barnes.
That is something else right there.
That's crazy.
Crazy is dumb.
I mean, I can imagine. I don't know how people end up this way. It's sad, truly. But she's a bad person. So
yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that she's not a bad person. What I'm saying is that's, man, she's made some very tough decisions in her lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. Send us a message. Follow us on Instagram at
Cafecito and Crime Pod. And if you would like to leave us a review and or rate us and download our episodes, we would appreciate it. And you can listen to us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube now, audio only.
Welcome to my channel.
All those things. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. And saludos to our follower that sent us a message on our Instagram. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you in the next one.
Bye.